Hey everybody, welcome back to the MINIAC, and we are live tonight for another live stream. Now, yes, I've been posting a lot lately because there's been a lot of stuff coming out with the Mini brand, but this is something new that I wanted to share with you all. Mini is planning to announce, by the looks of it, that they are going to go full electric by the year 2020. According to BMW blog, recently, several automakers have announced plans to go fully electric by 2030 at the latest, with some brands like Ford aiming at an earlier conversion. Yet German brands have been oddly quiet about full electric conversions, especially BMW, who actually reinforced the idea of using internal combustion recently. However, the suits in Munich have been heard the criticism of such decisions and have decided to meet some critics halfway and switch the Mini brand entirely over to electrification by 2030. According to a recent article from Spiegel magazine, BMW boss Oliver Zipse, I'm assuming I pronounced that correctly, claims that Mini will be the first part of the BMW group to fully switch over to electrification, and the ball will start rolling soon. In fact, Zipse claimed that the last internal combustion engined Mini will debut in 2025, and that by 2027, half of the entire Mini range will be electric. Apparently, BMW's relationship with Chinese manufacturer Great Wall has a lot to do with this plan and could likely handle a lot of the manufacturing of said electric Minis. So, with that possibility of Mini going full electric by the year 2030, pardon me, hold on, I'm getting a feedback loop here from my live feed. But with Mini potentially going full electric by the year 2030, I want to hear what you all think of that. My thoughts are kind of mixed. I'm kind of all over the place with that. I think it might be really cool. I think it could also end up being really, well, it depends. It depends on what's going to happen. If they increase the range on the vehicles, I could see it becoming very viable, considering most people who own Mini Coopers drive their cars quite a bit and tend to drive them across country. If the entire range goes full electric and everyone who owns a Mini owns an electric one within a certain period of time, it could definitely make Mini Takes the States a little bit interesting in the fact that we're going to have to shorten our distances. But it's kind of curious to see what's going to happen. We knew things were going to be going full electric with the brand when we started seeing the Mini Cooper SE and talks about the John Cooper Works models going full electric, especially with the test car that came out, the one that looks like the GP that we call the GPE. So things are going to be changing. Things are going to be definitely going in a different direction with the Mini brand in the coming future. We've been hearing about models like the Mini Traveler potentially coming. That's going to be a midsize SUV that's going to be full electric. We've heard about that. We've heard about more electric models coming down the road. We've heard that the 4th Gen Mini is going to be a fully electric model with internal combustion being a secondary powertrain versus being a primary. So things are changing, things are going to be coming along, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But as Rocco said, all EV by 2030, why? Sounds wrong, too early. So you think, Rocco, that 2030 is a little on the early side for Mini to go fully electric, but apparently many disagree with you on that one. So I think that seems early by comparison. That's 9 years away. That does seem rather quick. But at the same time, it also seems kind of far away in a way. But I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. I'm curious to see what the new models are going to be. So this basically indicates that 2024, when the 2024 models come out, by the looks of things, that will be the last hurrah, as it were, for internal combustion Minis as far as brand new Minis are concerned. So after that, they're done basically with internal combustion. They'll all be electric by the sound of things. I'm hoping that maybe they push that date back, but I know there's a lot of people out there that want Mini to be fully electric a lot sooner. I know there's people out there that want cars to be fully electric a lot sooner, thinking that electric vehicles, electric powertrains are the way of the future, and that all brands should be embracing electric cars and going full electric, not like mixing things around, having multiple powertrains. They think they should just all be electric. there are brands out there that are doing that. Tesla has been doing it for a number of years now with varying degrees of success. The powertrains are great, but the build quality is not as great, I've been told. Ford recently brought out a new electric car. Mini recently has their new electric. There's lots of stuff coming out there, but it should be interesting to see what is going to happen. Now, Rocco, you also mentioned plug-ins would be good. A manual electric vehicle would be even better, and I'm inclined to agree with you. Manual transmission would be really cool. Everyone keeps saying that you can't do a manual transmission electric vehicle, yet there are brands out there that have proven otherwise. So there is a possibility you can do an electric vehicle that is manual transmission. However, with the way the future is going and the way a lot of car manufacturers are going, they're switching over to automatic transmissions quite frequently, if not more often than bringing in manual transmissions. So I imagine that the future electric cars will all be automatic transmission based. But seems like lots of changes are coming out for the brand in the future. Lots of new stuff. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I still want to hear what you all think. I'm kind of stalling for time because I'm waiting for a friend of mine from Colorado to join me in the live stream, but he is currently indisposed right now driving in snow because Colorado has a lot of snow right now. Imagine that. Start of spring, end of winter, something like that, and they're getting snow, 18 inches of snow last I recall. But my friend who I'm going to be bringing on, he is a very colorful person when it comes to what his opinions on vehicles, but basically think a young Jeremy Clarkson, as it were, and he'll have his say on what he thinks about Mini going full electric. I can't promise that he won't use a little profanity, but he might. But it should be interesting regardless to see what he has to say about the brand when he does finally pop in here, and hopefully he does. Haven't heard from Mayo Chickens if he's going to join us tonight. Haven't heard from Car Creations. I did hear from the mini vlog. He said that while he would love to attend, he is getting done with a snowboarding thing he was at. So he's on his way home and won't be able to join us tonight. But yeah, we should have my friend Marcus here in a few. And if you're curious about him, go to his Instagram. It's miniac.marcus. And I'm going to add his banner in there. So we got at Miniac Marcus. And he's a pretty colorful character. So that's his screen name on Instagram if you want to check out what he has to say. He can be very colorful with a lot of the cars that he reviews. He is currently a salesperson over at, I think, Porsche of Littleton, Colorado. So pretty cool stuff. He gets to work with Porsches all day long. That's kind of exciting. He used to work with Minis. He was the Mini genius over at Champ Mini for a number of years. And now he works in Porsches. But he has opinions about the Mini brand, obviously. But while I'm waiting for him to arrive, I can definitely answer some questions for you all. We can definitely do a MINIAC Q&A right now if you are all interested, and I would welcome that. So I'm seeing your thoughts on the electric Mini, and let's see what we have to say here. We got Mid-Zom. Wow, can't wait for that to happen. Looking forward to the electric convertible. Mid-Zom, unfortunately, Mini is discontinuing the convertible after the 2024 model year, last I checked. The convertible will not be returning, which means that there will not be an electric convertible unless you manage. The only way I could think of that you could probably accomplish that is if you bought a Mini Cooper SE electric car, bought a Mini Cooper S convertible, and dismantled both cars and then put them back together with the convertible body. I think that'd be the only way that would happen. Yes, I feel your pain on that. It's unfortunate that that is going to happen. But yeah, it would be cool if Mini did an electric convertible. I don't think there's a take rate for it that would allow them to really do that. And there may just not be a market for it. But it's kind of a shame because I could think of lots of different brands that would benefit from having electric convertibles. Unfortunately, not any electric car on the market that I've seen so far, with the exception of the Tesla Roadster, ever came as a convertible, which is kind of interesting when you think about it. They could easily, if they did a convertible, they would easily make a lot of money doing that. Unfortunately, I think it has to do with mileage and weight, and convertibles weigh more naturally than their hardtop competitors, or hardtop counterparts, I should say. So having an electric convertible would probably decrease the range and increase the weight, so you're going to end up with a car with less mileage. Kind of a shame. Rocco said, I'm a proud supporter of save the manuals. An electric manual would be cool, not going to lie. I agree with you, Rocco. An electric manual would be really cool, just like I agree with Midzom here that an electric convertible would be kind of cool. I don't see Mini doing that anytime soon. I don't see Mini making a manual convertible. I'm sorry, I don't see Mini making a manual electric car either. I could see Porsche making an electric manual, but I don't see Mini doing that. But we'll wait and see what happens with the Mini brand. Things could always change down the road. Things could improve. We could see a lot of this stuff end up different in the next couple of years. We could see Mini has announced basically that they're going to do this by 2030. The plan is. That could change depending on the market, depending on the desires of the customers, depending on the world, basically, how things are in the next couple of years. It could be all over the place. Schedules got shifted around over the last year because of the pandemic, so we could see a lot of things change with the Mini brand in the coming weeks and months and years as time progresses and as the Mini starts developing their next generation Mini. So we're going to start seeing some test mules of that car coming around soon, which means we're going to see a lot of new stuff coming for the Mini brand and a lot of interesting things coming along as well. Special editions are going to be coming out this year, I'm sure, more of them. Special upgrades. We still haven't seen the 2022s in person yet. I haven't, at least, but I do have a video for the 2022 JCW using photos that I've obtained showing them at various dealerships throughout the UK and the European Union. So lots of cool stuff. Some of them are JCWs, some of them are Cooper S's and Coopers with JCW appearance package, which we don't get in the US, but cool enough to give us an idea of what things are going to look like. But I think things are heading in this direction with full electrification. I've driven the electric Mini quite extensively, and I do enjoy the car. Yes, it takes a little getting used to with driving an electric car, and I hear that internal combustion engine and the stop and go thing where you let off the throttle and the car slows itself down, comes to a complete stop even. That's a little unnerving at times, takes a little getting used to. But when you actually get around to it, it's actually kind of fun driving one of those cars because you can kind of just zip around corners, floor it around on ramps, and it's just kind of a fun, it's almost like a toy. It feels like driving like a radio control car just because of the dynamics of it being a full electric car, but still driving like a Mini Cooper. So it's kind of fun in that way. But looking forward to see how things pan out with that. In the meantime, while we're waiting for my friend to show up so we can actually get into this discussion with seeing his take on the electric car, I would also like to share that apparently, according to the BMW blog, the X7 was recently spied. BMW X7 was recently spied with some new headlights, or with a facelift, because you know how BMW does LCIs. So this is the new X7. And yes, I said I wasn't going to show you BMWs anymore, but here's the reason why I'm showing you this. I can't for the life of me figure out why they designed the front end like that, because if you look at this picture that I'm about to show you, look familiar? Looks like they just copied Genesis GV80 as far as the headlights are concerned. And they both apparently have gigantic grills. So it seems that styling cues on the automotive market are going in the direction of gigantic grills and flipped headlights. So interesting stuff's taking place there. Now, I don't know why they're doing that, but I'm going to just sit back and watch the fun, because we know how BMW has been lately with some of their design cues. They're kind of a little out there, but should be interesting. Now, I got to figure out what the heck is taking Marcus so long to show up, because I promised you he would be on to chat and tell you all his take on this. But while I'm waiting, I still want to answer many questions. So if anyone has some questions they want to ask me about minis, anything like that at all, please comment on the comment section, because otherwise I have really nothing else to say here, and I may have to cut this live stream short, because without him here to have this discussion, there's really nothing else to further talk about. But I can go further down into this article on what Mini was saying. So, regarding the electrification, it also states in the article that Zips will be announcing BMW's plan to electrify the rest of BMW's lineup later next week. As of right now, there's no time frame to when such a transition might happen or even begin for BMW. Hopefully, BMW understands that it needs to happen sooner than later. At the moment, the only electric cars BMW has on sale are the iX3 and i3, and neither of which are available in all markets, and neither of which are particularly competitive. Plus, the BMW i3 is doomed, reaching the end of production as we speak. The iX will replace it, and the i4 is on the way, but BMW needs to get a move on after that. Tesla obviously has its suite of EVs to contend with, and now even Audi has 3 electric models, with all 3 boasting 2 different variants, with several more planned to debut by 2025. Learning that Mini will switch to 100% EV by 2030 is very encouraging. This is according to BMW blog. And honestly, Mini is one of the best brands for electrification, though we would like to see more from BMW, and hopefully we will within the coming weeks. This is an article directly from BMW blog. This is their opinions on this. Their opinions do not necessarily reflect those of myself or the person I'm going to eventually have on here to talk about this whole thing. But it's interesting to see where BMW is taking Mini into the future with the electrification. Now, do I think it's a great idea? I'm welcoming the idea of cars going electric, but I still think we need to have Minis be internal combustion. I still think there needs to be internal combustion Minis out there. I still think JCW brands need to be full internal combustion. I'm okay with maybe the possibility of a hybrid system, because if you ever driven the hybrid Countryman, it has only 7 horsepower less than a JCW hardtop. So the horsepowers are on par. 221 horsepower, 228 horsepower. They're pretty darn close. So effectively, the hybrid is really a kind of a sports hybrid, really. It's not like for ultimate fuel efficiency, but it is a hybrid, or it is a sporty vehicle in that regard. The Cooper SE, its horsepower rating is more on par with a regular Cooper S, so therefore it has the right setup. I still want to see the hybrid powertrain go into a hardtop, which we were told was going to happen, and I have yet to see it. So it could be that it's going to happen with the facelift. It could be that it's going to happen with the 4th gen, and that what we were thinking we were going to see for the facelift cars is actually not going to happen. But regarding electrification, I just don't know. I'm on the fence. I want to see what's going to happen in the future, but I also want to see, they need to, if they're going to bring the cars out and make them full electric, they need to bring the cost down. They need to increase the range. And that's pretty much it. Increase the range, bring the cost down. And that's not happening right now. But I'm hoping that in the future, with the revisions of technology and everything, I think it's going to happen at some point. But I'm rambling right here because I don't know where the heck my co-host is for this, because he's supposed to be here and he's not here. And while I'm waiting, do you think they'll bring back the Paceman? Based on the article from China that was written about the concept car Mini that we were all seeing, there were 2 variations. One was calling the car the Rocket Man, the other one was calling it the Paceman. So there was a possibility there that they might be bringing back the Paceman name. There's also the possibility that they might have just gotten the names wrong between Rocket Man and Paceman and just weren't thinking. but I don't see Paceman coming back anytime soon. As Mini has, when they discontinued that model, they effectively retired the name Paceman. So I don't see Paceman coming back. If they do manage to bring it back, I don't know what platform they would bring it on, because a two-door crossover utility was not very popular. So I don't see them doing that same thing again with another two-door crossover utility vehicle. They could, but I just don't see it at the moment. So no, I don't see them bringing back the Paceman name, unfortunately. And I'm still waiting for my friend to pop in here. And if he doesn't come in, I'm going to try to grab someone else that I know to come in and talk minis with us. But I just don't know where he is right now. And yeah, perhaps a Countryman Coupe. Yeah, I could see them doing a Countryman Coupe, maybe. Well, maybe the name Countryman Coupe. I don't know. Like I said, I still don't see the possibility of a two-door crossover utility vehicle. So, Paceman name aside, I don't see them coming out with a Countryman Coupe either. That would be almost like BMW, like when BMW does coupe versions of their crossovers. So you have the X2, the X4, the X6, and apparently the X8 is coming out. I don't see them doing that. That would be. I feel like that would hurt the brand in a way. I feel like that might drive some customers out potentially. It might bring in a few customers, but there'd be the purists out there who wouldn't want that. That being said, the purists out there are still driving R53s and don't like R56s or F56s. And I know this for a fact because I've encountered purists out there who think that the only good Mini out there aside from the Classic is the R53, and then anything beyond that sucks. I disagree, but there are people out there who think that. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. But meantime, I just got a message from Marcus. He is trying to get his car unstuck, and he'll be joining us in a few minutes. So eventually we'll have him on here, and he can give us his take. In the meantime, Walter Austin, I think they need to still have a gas option. They are still planning to have a gas option for the 2024 Minis, and the reason why is because they haven't transitioned over to full electric yet. But the car is being designed as a electric car with a internal combustion engine as an option, I guess, as it were. So they will still have internal combustion engines. They will still have they will have electric. They'll have internal combustion. They'll have diesel. They might not have diesel. They may have a hybrid variant, but they're not planning to kill off the internal combustion engine completely immediately. That being said, I'm pretty sure that if they're going to be going to full electric that quickly within 6 years after they've redesigned the cars, it would not surprise me if the powertrain that we see for the 2024 model year, the redesign of the car, for the internal combustion ones anyway, is the same B46, B48, B36, B38 engines that we currently have. So it won't surprise me to see those engines still being used even for those cars. It's just a matter of timing and seeing exactly when that's going to change and what's going to happen there. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they're planning to come out with, and hopefully soon enough we'll have that. And if I seem distracted, it's only because I'm waiting for my co-host to get here. So if you're wondering what I've been doing here this whole time, I'm actually in my mom's office at my parents' house, and I've been filming YouTube videos. So I have one for the Superleggera concept that I'm working on. I have one for the for the photos of the 2022 JCWs, as well as the 2022 JCW convertible. There was a video that popped out on that one as well that I have. So I'm going to be doing a video on those, showing you all what we're seeing at dealerships now as they're starting to pop out there. I'm filming a video, planning to at least, on basically the lineage of the GP. So from the GP1 up to the GP3. So I had that video in store that I'm working on. But lots of things coming down the pike, lots of different videos, lots of cool ideas I have planned. Still have to do some more videos with my own car, but I'm waiting for a part to arrive from Germany because they have to make more, apparently. They ran out of parts for this piece, so they have to make more of them so that I can get one. So it's going to take about a month to finally get this part so I can actually put it on the car. But as soon as I do, I'm going to do a video on the car. Walter said, is this how they're going to the smaller minis again? The G56 4th Gen Mini will be smaller. It'll be smaller in terms of body of the vehicle. It'll be about the same size as the current F cars in terms of interior space, but the overall dimension on the exterior are going to be smaller. That's basically how they're doing it. They're shrinking the exterior, but they're keeping the interior about the same size. So basically, we're going back to R56 size, I guess, as it were. And we'll see what happens about that. Did you ever find out if the Patty Hopkirk 2022 is a fact? I heard rumors that there was a 2022 Patty Hopkirk out there, that there was a 2022 Cooper S with a JCW appearance package and Patty Hopkirk graphics and everything on it. That's the rumor. I haven't found any proof of it. But if there is proof out there, you can be sure I'm going to find it and I'll share it with you all. But at the moment, I haven't seen anything of it. That being said, it would be pretty cool if there was. But since the European market, UK market is different than the US market, you can pretty much get a Cooper S over there for JCW appearance package, JCW interior, and then put your own Patty Hopkirk twist on it if you really wanted to, and have basically the same car with the 2022 facelift. So it's not impossible that there might be one roaming around, but I highly doubt it, just because I haven't seen any proof of it. And you think something like that would be something they'd want to share. They've limited the number of cars they were building. What I do know is that the Sidewalk Edition convertible is still available for 2022 in the facelift body style with 3 colors. They've discontinued the enigmatic black with it, but it now comes in white, silver, deep Laguna metallic, and zesty yellow. It has scissor spoke wheels still. It has the lounge leather interior. It's still very much a great looking car, but yeah, so you're still going to get that. I just don't know anything about the Patty Hopkirk yet. And we're approaching 9 o'clock, and my person here who's supposed to be coming in and joining me is still stuck in the snow by the looks of things. So I'm going to try to send him the invite again and hope that he gets it. But still working on it, and he's still not here yet. So that's a shame. But I'm trying to get him in here as quickly as possible because I know he wants to join us and share his opinions on electrification. And he's comical enough that it'll be a fun time hearing him talk about it. So it's worth waiting for. But I understand if people out there do not want to wait around and just don't have the time to sit and wait, basically. Because I mean, I wouldn't blame you. But I'm hoping that you do all manage to stick around and wait for him, because he's a character. He's definitely a character. He's definitely gonna be worth listening to. But we got 11 people popping in here. I got more questions I can answer. And I can't wait for the mini convertible electric. Aerolog Productions, if you didn't hear me earlier, they are not building a mini electric convertible. They are going to be skipping that one. Jabs says they should have the 1499 GT kit for the Cooper S. I agree with you there. That would be a pretty cool looking car. And then Walter Austin says, I appreciate all your hard work, sir. You all have a great night. Mini for life. I appreciate your sentiment. I thank you for watching. So, bruh. I don't know exactly what that means, but yes, I guess I assume you're disappointed they're not making an electric convertible. I agree with you on that. I think it's a disappointment as well. I would love to see an electric convertible. I think that'd be kind of fun, but it has to, like I said earlier, it has to do with weight. It has to do with range, and they can't really do it. He said it's kind of strange that they would give the 4-seater convertible electric market to Fiat and Maserati. I didn't know that Fiat had a electric convertible. Neither did I know that Maserati had an electric convertible. That's kind of interesting information. But I'm gonna have to dig into the systems and do some more research on that regard. I didn't know those two were even existed. And you say they confirmed it last year. That surprises me. I did not know that Fiat and Maserati were building electric convertibles, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I'm getting an update from, do I have to be on my computer to do this? Stand by. I believe so, but if you stand by. My friend is trying to get in here and join us. Unfortunately, he's not near his computer right now, so he's trying to see if he can get to it on his phone. So I'm trying to check here to see if I can help him out. Does StreamYard have a app? So yes, they have an app. So he's trying to get on so he can join us, because I want him in here to talk with us, because I'm losing time here and I do not like dead air when I'm trying to entertain you all and talk about minis, because I feel like that is not a good thing to do as a YouTuber, is to have dead air time with no communication, no chatting. But it seems like it is Sunday, and it seems like there's a lot of people out there who really have nothing really to say regarding minis or any kind of questions or so forth. Yeah, I guess this live stream thing really works better when I have multiple people on here to talk to, but I don't know. Just letting him know that he needs to hurry up and get his butt in here, because I'm getting tired of waiting. It is really frustrating. Hurry up, Mike or Marcus. We're waiting on you. And I got 7 people watching right now. I should have had more. He should be on his way soon. Just waiting for him to get in here, because I need to get his opinion on this. And I've been trying to drag this out as long as possible. If I had known he was going to take this much time if he was going to be this delayed, I probably would have rescheduled this live stream a little later in the evening. But I wanted to get started, and I assume people had some questions they wanted to ask regarding the brand. Timothy Daniel. Hi. Any news when Barron will get the 2022 cars? They're getting a 2022 JCW convertible later this month, beginning of next month, and I've been guaranteed that I can do a review of the car while it's parked at the dealership, because it's a sold vehicle. Now, I would take these cars out and drive them, but they drive the same as the F56s, as the current F56s, so there's not going to be much difference in terms of how they drive. If I encounter one that has the new suspension, I'll be sure to do a video of that, but I was told that all of them come standard with the new special suspension system, and that if you want to, on the JCWs, you can actually opt to have sport suspension, which eliminates that new what do they call that suspension system? It's called frequency something suspension. But yeah, that's going to be now standard on all the cars. I also found out standard LED headlights, standard lane departure warning, standard 8.8-inch touchscreen, but navigation is still optional. Standard, what else is there? Oh, if you get a manual transmission, you get a manual parking brake. If you don't get the adaptive cruise control with stop and go, you do not get an electronic parking brake. So you can still get a manual parking brake to set in your car. You don't have to get the electronic version. So there's lots of changes coming, but at the same time, some things are sticking around and staying the same. What else has been changed? Taillights have gotten tinted slightly darker, which is kind of cool. The front headlights are off the GP3 and look really cool. If I could put them on my car, I would. But waiting to see what happens with those. And I'm still trying to figure out where he is. And anyone else have any questions here? Standard heated steering wheel? No. The heated steering wheel is still an option. Is going to be an option. I did find out that the touch pads on the steering wheel that are piano black that I thought were like haptic, like some other cars, they are not haptic. They are actually functional buttons. You press them and they will actually function as a button. They just have this very clean piano black surface. But yes, they are functional buttons. So that's something that's nice to know about the new steering wheels. The new LED accent lighting in the car is really cool. There's actually two variants I found out. There's a kind of what they call lounge lighting, which is very soft, kind of pastel. And then they have a sport lighting, which is more aggressive, and it even changes the colors of the speedometer and the center screen. It gives you like blacks and reds, and it gives you more bold colors in the accent lighting, which is really cool because it's no longer just a tapping of the switch. You can actually go to the info screen and select the color you want. So that's kind of a cool thing. I'm looking forward to trying that when one actually shows up on the lot. But it's exciting stuff. There's a lot of exciting upgrades and things coming to the Mini lineup. So 2022 model year is going to be a fantastic model year for the Mini. And 2021 in general is just going to be a fantastic year for Minis. There's a lot of stuff coming, and I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing lots of videos with those cars because that's just what I do. There's lots of Minis out there, and I got to go out there and basically it's like Pokemon, got to catch them all. But I'm trying to figure out where Marcus is here so he can get in here because he said that he was trying to download the app. But and I'd rather have him do more talking because he's someone that'd be interesting to listen to about the electric Mini or about Mini going full electric, but he is still delayed and I don't know where he is. Okay, he's now offline. So, any more questions while I'm waiting for him because he is still not here. And it's been 37 minutes and I've run out of things to talk about. And if he doesn't pop in soon, I may have to call off. I may have to just end it if I don't get from Sonic Liberation. Thank God someone's here. How does this new steering wheel in the 2022 S compare to the JCW steering wheel in my 2020 S? I've been told the new steering wheel is thicker, slightly thicker, has a different leather style design. It's about the same size as the old steering wheels, but it's definitely more usable steering wheel. It's more aggressive steering wheel, as it were. If you ever get the aftermarket accessory JCW steering wheels, the Alcantara ones, the leather ones, the carbon fiber ones, they all kind of have that thicker grips. And the new steering wheel has that same feel. As far as if you were going to want to retrofit it to your other cars, I don't think it can be retrofitted, but you never know. Actually, it could potentially be. Are the JCW wheels on the new JCW the same as the optional wheels on the Clubman and Countryman? No. They are 18-inch versions of the 19-inch circuit spoke wheels, but they are made specifically for the hardtop and convertible. And while they look similar, they're not the same wheel, but they are called circuit spoke wheels. They're just slightly smaller. But anywho, I do finally have Marcus in here, so I'm going to add him in, and there he is, so he can finally give us his take on the electric Mini. Because I've been sitting here. I
like it.
Huh?
I almost bought one. I like it.
You like the electric Mini?
Oh yeah, it was fun to drive. With the center of gravity so low and all the batteries down in it, it's really a good bit of fun to drive. It's really quick too. I'm currently not in the weather. The snow is actually deeper than my Mini at my house right now. I'm actually just trying to get my winter car, my BMW X5, that is there and stuck because even X-Drive is defeated by this. But yeah, I feel like Mini needs to do an electric club next. That's my goal.
An electric what?
Yeah. An electric Clubman would be good.
But I think Mini said they're killing off.
Best connection right now, but when I drove the electric Mini in probably February of 2020, And I was just amazed. It was so much fun to drive. I was because I mean all the batteries are so low down in it, and it was an absolute blast. I realize as a automotive purist per se that I mean I love my older Minis, I love my older Porsches, my older BMWs, that I begrudgingly realize that we are going to have to electrify all cars at some point, but
Mhm.
driving things like the Cooper SE, and then having driven the Porsche Taycan and Audi e-tron, all the Teslas. I mean, I've pretty much driven all the electric cars. I mean, some of them are dreadful and dreary and dim-witted, and I'd rather eat a ream of paper than have some of them. But there's there is good ones, and there is hope for the tyrannical beating heart of car enthusiasts that would prefer their cars belch and endless fumes and burning gasoline into the face of all the baby seals. But I'm a lot like Clarkson. I've grown up around him, if anyone can't tell.
Well, so you work. You see, you work for Porsche, and I'm sure you know that Porsche is working on synthetic fuel.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That is a really, really interesting idea. Um, quite frankly, I mean, I love Mini. I love them, but I I have an R53, and I just absolutely love that car. It's fantastic, but Porsche has done a better job than Mini, in my opinion, of keeping the feel and the thrill of the older ones present in the new ones. And I genuinely believe Porsche engineers are the best engineers the world has ever seen. It's unbelievable what they can accomplish with something like the new 992 Turbo S that
Mhm.
has 640 horsepower from a 3.8 liter twin turbo flat six, and it will demolish a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, a Dodge Demon, and even Teslas in a quarter mile. It's staggering what they can do. And Mini and Porsche people, uh, they mesh well because we like our small, sporty,
Mhm.
tossable, and planted cars. And yeah, so I,
And naturally, Mini and Porsche both are in the same on the same rung as according to JD Powers and Associates for the best dealership service experience.
yes, they are. Yeah, I mean, with communities like Mini and Porsche have,
Mhm.
um, a lot of the people who work at the dealerships are also part of that community because they want to be a part of the cars, and it makes everyone's experience better because you're dealing with someone who understands the community and who works with and really is always with the community doing
Mhm.
stuff outside of work. And yeah, it's like I work for Porsche, and every customer I have, I mean, I try to share the passion and the thrill of Porsche. I worked for Mini a while ago, and I mean, it was tremendous too. I mean, they're very good brands to work for. They take care of their employees, and that really contributes to when the employees are happy, the customers are happy.
And conveniently enough, I just realized this: the person that bought my race car, as I called it, my mini race car. He owns a Porsche 911. He actually, I think he said he takes it out to the track down in New Mexico.
Oh yeah,
Not New Mexico. I'm sorry, Arizona.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
races. He races both. Actually, He races the Mini and he races his Porsche.
That's what I do. My Mini, I daily drove my R53 for probably a year and a half. I had another R53 and two R56s, uh, a few others before that. But my Mini at this point is strictly a weekend car and track car. I'm just
Are you afraid of something going wrong?
I just want to preserve it. I genuinely plan on keeping my R53 for the rest of my life
Did you
because
see?
the as much as I enjoyed my R56s and as nice as the third gen minis are, I don't think they ever bested the first gens, honestly. You get in them and yeah, the cup holders are completely unusable and absolutely everything in the interior sounds like you could play a pretty solid drum solo on it, and you go over a bump or run over an amoeba and you shatter and your spine comes out the top of your head. But but
Did
they
you ever?
are.
Did you ever? What was it? Did you see on Bring a Trailer? They have a I think it's a 2004 MC30 or MC40.
Oh yeah. Actually, on that note, I'm currently in negotiation to try to buy a complete disaster of an MC40.
Oh, so you've
Um,
seen Petrolped, not Petrolped. I'm sorry. You've seen Hoovie's Garage then.
yes, I actually emailed them. I'm trying to buy that car right now. But
Why buy the hold on? Why buy the basket case when you can go to Bring a Trailer, buy the one on Bring a Trailer that has the JCW tuning kit in it?
because I make every decision I make is the exact opposite of what a rational person would make. I'm actually I mean, and I also feel bad for that Mini. Uh I want to save that car and just get
Give
it
it some,
back on the road, but
give it the love that Tyler Hoover might not be giving it.
yeah, I mean, we'll see, but yeah, that I mean, I want to I want all the R53s just to be around forever, honestly. And
All of you in here watching, the 8 people that I now have in here, if Jeremy Clarkson weren't alive right now, basically Marcus is the re-embodiment of Jeremy Clarkson in a way.
yeah, I'm actually doing this live stream from my BMW X5, which I really fashionably stuffed into a snowbank, and
You could have
my solution to getting it out was turning the traction control off and redlining it. So
I mean, you could have been like when he was driving the X3 or the X6 trying to go up a hill and it just sliding back down.
Yeah, but I have good tires, and this car, quite honestly, is one of the absolute best snow cars I've ever driven. I mean, I've been driving in 2 to 3 feet of snow all day and just plowing through it as fast as possible to not get stuck. Yeah, it's actually the biggest snowstorm ever recorded in Colorado in March that we're having right now.
Now, Sonic Liberation
it's
just said the F-56 has benefited from its extra years in production. What do you think?
Hold on, I have a pretty bad connection. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Oh shit! I think my battery just died. Hang on. Oh, there we go. I've got to start my car. You might connect to my Bluetooth. I don't know if this works with Bluetooth. Hang on.
I feel like we're doing
Bluetooth off.
I feel like we're doing one of those opinion shows on Fox News or CNN right now.
So that.
And we've had a bad connection.
Terrible.
So Colorado, if it's snow right now, is basically a war zone.
Oh yeah, it's heinous. It's just god awful. I'm screwed. Hang on, let me try to. Window regulator is going to die. Okay. I think that's
so his screen is frozen, but if anyone's curious, there's now 4 people watching this basically.
Yeah, so I could be even more unfiltered, you're telling me?
Yeah, if there's only 4 people watching, you could be as unfiltered as you wanted to be now. You could give me your opinion on the Maserati Ghibli.
Oh god. It's just that car is like when like a 60-year-old guy gets divorced, whole family doesn't want to talk to him, and then he tries to reinvent himself in a horrible, chintzy, cheesy, nauseating way that just makes you want to bash your head through a plate glass window. That is the personality that car gives off. The once great Maserati brand building a wretched, just it's essentially a loud Chrysler. That's what that car is.
In
It's
fact,
got the turn signal lever from a Dodge Caravan, and I know that's been
I got
pointed out
in one the other
extensively.
day.
What?
I got in one the other, or a few weeks back because I photographed it with one of the inventory vehicles at a Jeep and Hyundai dealership.
Yeah.
And the minute I got in, I looked at the window switches, and I'm like, Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh no, it's actually the Chrysler 200 part number. I
But
looked that
that's
up.
the same part number that's in the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh, is it?
Yes, same
Yeah,
exact.
I mean, I guess it is Chrysler. They don't know how to build more than one car and haven't for about the last 45 years. But
Well, they've just been gradually facelifting the Jeep Grand Cherokee over the last like 10 years.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is the Grand Cherokee, despite the fact I hate Jeeps with a fiery passion, the Grand Cherokee is not a bad mid-size SUV. It's fine, but the new one looks promising, but it's still a Jeep, so it's going to have the longevity of a fruit fly.
I need to have you on more often. Have you like give your opinions of cars. People right now, if they could just comment the 9 people I have watching this. Give me a car right now that you want to hear him talk. You want to hear him roast basically, and he will talk about it. There was one car in particular, I think a while back, I was going to ask you to do your opinion on.
I mean, there could be a lot of cars that would be.
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot. I think there was one that you just went off on. I couldn't remember which one it was.
I mean, the Chrysler 300 is a pretty frequent target of my hatred. Pretty much any of the current Mitsubishi lineup, unless you've rented it. Because if you've rented a new Mitsubishi, always buy their rental insurance policy, because then what you could do is you could have it for a few days, and throughout the next few days you just total it and give it back and walk away. And it's the most fun you'll ever have, just beating a Mitsubishi Mirage to death, because that is the only situation where that car is in any way a reasonable or likable thing.
Okay, here you go. Here's your first.
The M4. Well, which one? I'm assuming you mean the new one.
Yes.
All I'll say, it had better be damn good to drive, because that car. I mean, as a BMW guy my whole life, I mean, I've honestly lost track of how many of them I've owned, but it is diabolically, offensively, heinously ugly. And with the previous generation, the F82, if you didn't have the competition package, it was the most twitchy and awful wayward thing to drive, with a deeply unpleasant engine note and unpredictable handling, which is, as everyone I'm sure knows, is very un-BMW-like. But thankfully they sorted that out for the competition package cars. Unfortunately, the GTS was about the least pleasant car I've ever driven.
Yeah, seems like they intentionally make them slightly worse so that they can give you the competition package. Oh, if you buy the competition package, it does this.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure. You hear $17,800 extra, which is actually also the maintenance bill when you go into the dealership on most BMWs. But
So this is our M4, and for $17,000 extra, you can have it so that it drives well.
Yes, exactly. If you'd like your essentially a descendant of a homologation race car to be in any way decent to drive and hold even a slight candle to that Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio that I love, you just give us 17 grand extra, and then you have to flush your differential fluid every 2,000 miles.
So we got another thing here. Will Mini Factory replace all its models with eDrive? Because I'm a Clubman owner, I would welcome the idea if the Clubman will also be an E version. Then it will surely be my next car. Unfortunately, Mini is planning to probably either discontinue the Clubman or turn it into a small crossover. But that could also.
Of course they are.
Electric.
I'm actually going to say I'd rather it be discontinued than become a crossover. I'll be straight up, because I love the Clubman. It's a great car. I have no problem with it. if I was to buy another Mini as a daily driver, it would be an F54
Well,
Clubman.
if I bought an F54 Clubman, it would either be the 300 horsepower JCW or it would be a older all-wheel drive manual.
Yeah, that's what I'd get. I'd get the all-wheel drive manual because the 300 horsepower one, you could only have an automatic, and automatics are for the feeble.
Okay, so we got another recommendation, another car for you to roast, the BMW i3.
I just saw the comment come up, and that was my reaction. That car, I think it would be more attractive if it was stuck to the back of a horse. I mean, it genuinely, I mean, it's almost dangerous to drive because it has so little grip, and the tires, I don't know if you know this, they took them off of a grand piano. But it is, I mean, a diabolical, hateful little car. I mean, it's.
So I got into it. I got into an i3 once, and I went for the door handle, pulled it, and the door handle came off in my hand.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much every time I get into Chrysler product. It just disintegrates because I'm looking at it.
Like I'm afraid if I shut the door too hard, it's going to like the other. I swear, I shut the door and like the window rolls down on the other side of the car.
I would bet it was a 2014 because in 2014, that was a pretty record-setting for its reliability.
It was a 2014, but the thing is, I got in that car. I remember the first time I got in one of those, I sat there for about 5 minutes trying to figure out where the shifter was and the start button.
Oh well, yeah, that is extremely. It has the. I mean, quite honestly, it has the ergonomic prowess of like a Brussels sprout in the entire interior. I mean, the car has already been recycled. That's why it disintegrated for you. That entire interior is made out of recycled materials. And yes, I understand for people with blue hair that like all sorts of environmental. What's the word here? Twaddle. It's tremendous, and you can go around eating Brussels sprouts and drinking yerba mate tea for your entire life. But I'll have my Porsche Taycan with its wonderful LA Club interior and a good amount of tree that I've knocked over in the interior, and it'll be tremendous.
Yeah, the only BMW i car that I've actually kind of liked was the i8, and that car. I did actually get a chance to spend about 5 minutes with one once. 3 of those minutes were getting in the car.
I despise the i8 as well, actually. I mean, when it came out, they said, "Oh, it's an eco-friendly alternative to the Porsche 911," and well, I'm sorry, it just
no, it isn't.
it just there is absolutely no competition there, none, zero, and it's actually slower than the M4 as well. And although the 3-cylinder engine in the Mini hardtops is fine, I think when you put it in the Countryman, it becomes a little horrid. But
We'll see.
The 3-cylinder engine with the hybridized thing, it just does not belong in that car. If that car had the engine out of an M5, it would be a different story. That would be awesome.
Basically, someone said the engine in the i8 was the same engine out of the Mini 3-cylinder Mini hardtop. And I'm like, yeah, but more accurately, it'd be the powertrain out of the Countryman hybrid just flipped around.
It is, but I mean, it's that what that car needed is it at least needed like the engine out of the F80 M3. Just, I mean, if they hybridized that or hybridized the M5 engine, or maybe just didn't hybridize it at all. There's an idea.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
But
it was trying to be
had so much potential because the way it looks, the incredible engineering, all the carbon fiber that's in it. There was so much potential, and then they gave it the engine out of a London taxi, essentially.
But yet, if you put it in a Mini hardtop, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I like it in the Mini hardtop. I love that little. It's like a hilarious little thrumming sound it makes. It's like it's a happy sound. I like the engine in the hardtop. In the Countryman, it's God, I just can't even with the 3-cylinder Countrymans unless it's the hybrid. The hybrid one's fine.
Yeah,
but
Someone asked here what BMW you're in. I said I was going to tell them it's a BMW X5.
Yeah, it's a 2013 X5. It's my daily driver that it soaks up all the abuse, so all my nice cars can be preserved, like my R53 and my 911 and some of my other stuff. I'm also currently, for my 21st birthday in a few weeks, I'm going down to Houston and retrieving a W220 Mercedes S600 with a Rentec tune and equal length headers, because I am a world-class automotive masochist and I don't learn my lessons.
My only complaint with the Mercedes is at a certain period in time that I got in one recently, or like within the last year, and I sat there for about 10 minutes, got on YouTube videos for about 5 minutes, trying to figure out where the shifter was.
Oh, I mean, I've driven so many cars that I really don't get confused by shifters anymore. But we also have a Mercedes that, hilariously, it's a 2017 GLE 350, and the transmission started slipping at 38,000 miles, which was really beautiful. But and what I find even funnier about that is my 2013 X5. I actually turned over 101,000 miles this week. I bought it with 70,000 in October. I drive a lot. I've had not a single issue, and I'm glad I have the wood trim option because I'm now knocking on that. But
Assuming it's real wood.
I think it is. Well, actually,
no, actually, I think it is real wood, because I remember my dad's wood shift knob in his BMW 3 Series coupe started peeling.
Did it? What year was it?
2005. The veneer started flaking off.
Oh, an E46. Yes. I had that same shift knob in my E46.
Yeah, it started
crumble. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it needed to be re-laminated or something. We couldn't find the right tree.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does have enough gloss on it to. I mean, yeah. I'm not a big fan of wood trim on interiors unless it's on cars that it has no business being in. So, for instance, brand new Porsche 911, yes, option the wood trim all the way. But yeah,
brand new Toyota Corolla, don't.
Well, yeah, no. But even worse, they've put fake carbon fiber trim in it, which, and they've got it in the RAV4 too. And I'm like, in this, really, with its CVT and 138 horsepower.
Yeah. Someone said, how about if they turn the Clubman into a larger wagon? Then someone responded, or then they said to compete with the RS4, Audi RS4. So make the Clubman bigger.
Now, if any of the minis grow anymore, I think I might have a massive coronary. But I mean, in theory, that would be cool. I agree with you. But really, what they should do, and because it's the BMW group, is what they have this interesting car that's a 3 Series Touring. It's that it's their wagon version of their sports sedan, as I'm sure you all know. And what they really should do with that car is put a great engine in it, get rid of the M3 Touring's god-awful face that looks like Bette Midler in Hocus Pocus, and then bring it stateside. I'd love a 3 Series wagon. But what they should do with the Clubman is just turn it into like a great competitor for a Golf R, a Focus RS, that Civic Type R that looks like something out of Need for Speed, and I think it would do great. I mean, yeah.
See, the problem is that the Clubman had the perfect potential to be a touring car race car. Perfect setup, perfect balance, all-wheel drive, the 2-liter engine. It could have been perfect for that. But or should I say BMW wanted it to be a luxury executive cruiser, and it doesn't. And yes, it's a luxury executive cruiser. But if they were going through the trouble to make it a luxury executive cruiser, then why offer it in the United Kingdom and the European Union in volcanic orange?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't see it as that a luxury executive cruiser at all. I think
but the blue
that essentially what that is some marketing person got paid a lot of money to make an ass of themselves. But
basically it's basically like, think the indigo blue one I had, or not the indigo blue, the enigmatic black one I had with the indigo blue interior. That was basically their executive estate car.
I mean, it's lovely, but what I see the Clubman as is it's for someone who was looking at maybe an Impreza hatch or a Golf, and but they didn't want the interior out of an Uber, so they also didn't want not as much performance, and they went for the Clubman because it performs a lot better as a better interior. I feel like the Clubman is the closest thing we're going to get to having like a BMW 1 Series hatch in the US. It's like a hoity-toity hatchback, but they gave it barn doors, which I find hilarious.
Well, the 1 Series hatchback, the 1 Series hatch in the UK is basically the Mini Clubman in the US. Same platform.
It is. I mean, the original 1 Series hatch and the second generation was tremendous because it was rear-wheel drive, and it was first time in a long, long time anyone had seen a rear-wheel drive hot hatch. But because BMW thoroughly enjoys making every bad decision they can possibly make, they went for front-wheel drive in the new one, in the 1 Series hatch. I mean, in a Mini, yes, that's fine. They've always been front-wheel drive. They know how to do it. But BMW, just I'm skeptical of that being front-wheel drive.
Now, I'm not sure what Justin Elliott meant lightweight cars, but then he responded, what year 911 does he have?
I have a 1971 911T in Gulf Blue.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I have the 2021 911 Targa 4S Heritage Design Edition on order with the 7-speed manual.
So you can all see that I'm jealous of his car collection.
Yes, I buy a lot of cars. That's
like I'd love to have a Porsche 911 in my driveway.
Yeah, they're amazing cars. I mean, it's
well. See, I was briefly toying with the idea as a daily driver. I don't know why I thought this would be a smart idea. I was looking at buying a used 1987 Porsche 944.
Oh, those are awesome. They're fantastic. I love them. I prefer the 928. The 944 is great, but the 928 with that big V8 in the front was a cool car. It's like, imagine a 2-door Panamera. That's what that car is.
And that's funny. I thought the 911 was supposed to be the 2-door Panamera.
Or was no, not at all. The Panamera's front-engined. 911's rear-engined. No, not at all.
So the Panamera is basically...
A Panamera is Porsche being very sneaky and sneaking a hatchback and a wagon into the full-size luxury sedan segment, which I respect the hell out of them because it also runs rings around all the other large executive sedans. And so you get it in a wagon, and it's amazing.
Sonic Liberation says, bring back the Paceman.
I liked the Paceman. It was a good car. That was a cool car. My only complaint about the first-gen Countryman and the Paceman is that it looks like it's frowning at you if you get the S or the JCW. It just looks pissed off, which I guess has its appeal, but I feel like Minis are supposed to be a little more kind-looking. Yeah.
Sonic Liberation says BMW thinks their kidney grills are tiny.
I'm sure they do. However, it's not their kidney grills being tiny that they're afraid of.
I'm like, yeah, their kidney grills are tiny. Yeah,
the new 4 Series. I've seen several of them. It looks like I can't decide. It lungs to pineapples. I mean, like snowshoes. I can't figure out what it looks like. It's heinous. I've been
a worse one
the
for you.
past few weeks. I've been driving an X7 quite a bit, and I'm just delighted because every time I walk up to it, I walk up to it from behind, and I never have to look at its Bette Midler hocus pocus expression.
Speaking of the X7, you've seen the facelift for it, right?
The renderings. Have they unveiled it? I haven't been paying attention.
It's the LCI of the X7, what they think it's going to look like. And
I think it's just whoever that. Yeah, I've seen that. If anyone, I think, needs to lose their job, it's whoever is designing the brand new BMWs. They're looking on the 2 Series and the 5 Series.
It's not Oliver Heilmer. He's doing Mini.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's fine. I forget his name, honestly. I just completely
The
ignored
problem is, I look at the front end of this car, and I'm reminded of every single Hyundai, Santa Fe,
Yeah,
Palisade,
it looks like a
Kona.
combination between a Palisade,
Oh,
a
and the
Jeep
Genesis
Cherokee,
GV80,
and a hippopotamus.
and the Genesis GV80. Every single Hyundai I've gotten into recently has that same flipped headlight.
I love the GV80, actually. I drove one a couple weeks ago. It was fantastic. And,
Yeah,
this is a little insensitive, but I didn't even roll it over.
and you weren't golfing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you did get it. Okay.
What, you think I wouldn't get that joke?
I've actually...
What's funny is sales are going up on these cars because of that.
Of course they are. But I've actually got to log off. I have to get my car unstuck. It's it's getting deeper and deeper here, but yeah, I'll have to do this again. This is excellent,
sure.
and it gives me an outlet to rant in.
That was the whole point of me creating this, and I sat here for 40 minutes waiting for you to show up, trying to kill time.
Yeah, sorry. I'm late to literally everything ever. So my friend always says I'll be late to my own funeral.
So basically, if I tell you 8:30, I really should tell you like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, if you want me there at 8:30, tell me like 7:45.
Okay.
Because if you say 8:30, I'll be there at 9:15. And I'll once I get on, I'll once again be walking around in a snowstorm, or making eggs Benedict, something, or baking a birthday cake. I'm always up to something random.
So hopefully next time I catch you, it'll be when you're not stuck out in the snow in your X5.
Yes, and the only reason this car is stuck is not due to lack of capability or anything, but my just idiotic driving style.
So it's not due to lack of capability of the vehicle, it's due to lack of capability of the driver.
Oh, I'm the most brilliant driver ever. That's definitely the case. What I do is I'm almost Hammond-like in my driving, actually, because I love stamping on one pedal and then stamping on the other.
Except you're not going off any mountains and flipping over multiple times and bursting into flames yet.
No, no. Well, I mean, I actually did run into a 4-foot-tall wall of ice and break one of my bumper air intakes earlier, so I've got to replace that now. But
yeah, I saw that. I couldn't believe that. I was like, why?
Yeah, I mean, it was in front of my driveway. They had plowed it in, and I didn't think it would have frozen that much, but it did. And I drove into my driveway at probably 20 miles an hour, because who wouldn't? And damn nearly actually hit the R53 doing so.
But anyway, before you go, I'm just going to remind everybody, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. I upload videos usually every Monday at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time, since now we're into that. As much as I would love to get your opinions on Volvos, and
they're excellent, that's what I'll leave it at.
Okay. So this person said, I don't know anything about the Mini, but right now I like finding live car videos on YouTube and talking cars. I have 3 Mustangs and a Jeep Wrangler, and I enjoy any of these car live chats. So Justin will have to do some live chats in the near future. Another thing, wants you to rant on SUVs and everything. I had a 68 Mustang, love it. You can't really say anything negative about a 68 Mustang because they were good cars.
They were cool, yeah.
You can definitely say plenty of things about the Mustang too, but
those are quite poor.
But we're going to leave it at that. I want to thank everybody for watching. And leave a comment below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. If you want to see more of Marcus's rantings about cars, I'll make a list. And next time we'll actually plan this a little bit better.
Yeah.
But his opinion I thought his opinion on the electric Mini was going to be negative. It was actually about just as positive as I was thinking of it myself.
I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And if you're in Colorado stuck in the snow, go find Marcus and help him shovel his X5 out so he can get home.
Oh no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in launch control and probably crash into a Toyota Avalon.
Well, if you get more snow, you're going to have to reenact the day after tomorrow or something.
No, if you've seen the Top Gear Polar Special where they're on the ice boulders and Jeremy's just going boom, 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 and he breaks every suspension component and James nearly flies out the windshield, that's what I'm just about to do.
Well, if you break your X5, I'm sure I'll be seeing it on Instagram very soon. So
yeah. Shit posting is my specialty.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this. I think toward the end of this, it got a little bit more fun, a little more entertaining. But we'll do this again soon. I'll get in touch with Marcus about doing something a little bit more planned out rather than random. But anywho,